This is take 54. This video will attempt to retrace the geographic genealogy of the Hawks family. The name Hawk appeared as early as 1066 in Winton, Hampshire, England. The name may have originated to describe one of fierce or wild disposition. Adam Hawks was born in 1605 in Hingham, Norfolk County, England. In 1630, Adam was one of 1,700 Puritans who sailed with Winthrop's fleet from Southampton, England, across the Atlantic to Charlestown, Massachusetts. Adam first settled in Charlestown, where he held positions as cow commissioner and surveyor. In 1635, he and his wife Anne Hutchison moved their family 8 miles north to the agricultural community of Saugus. In Saugus, Adam supplied timber and ore for the construction and operation of the Saugus Ironworks. His son John Hawks married Sarah Cushman in 1661 in Lynn, Massachusetts, where he held prominent positions in the town and was involved in a petition for land against King Philip. John's youngest son, Ebenezer, was born in Lynn in 1677 and was a Quaker. In 1720, he moved his family to Marblehead, where he was a blacksmith, anchor maker, and real estate dealer. Ebenezer Jr. was born in 1702 and was also Quaker. After he died at the age of 39, his wife Anna Breed moved their children to New Marblehead, Maine, later to be known as Windham, Maine. Their son James was born in 1735 and grew up as a blacksmith and owned land in Windham. His son James Jr. was born in Windham, Maine in 1773, where he had a mill for processing sheep wool and dealt in ship timber. Daniel Hawks was born in Windham, Maine in 1805, but later moved to Portland, Maine, where he was a tanner and currier of leather. In Portland, Maine, Daniel met Elizabeth Bradford Winslow, where they had 3 sons and 3 daughters. In 1857, because of his health problems from working in the tannery, he, Elizabeth, and their children made the incredible journey down the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, through the Gulf of Mexico, and up the Mississippi River to St. Joseph, Missouri. In St. Joseph, Daniel hired a man with a team and a wagon to transport the family further west to Carson, Kansas, where Elizabeth had family in the area. Daniel, who had no experience as a farmer at the time, paid $750 for a 160-acre farm southeast of Carson. After Daniel died in 1863, his eldest son Franklin worked with Elizabeth to keep the family together and save the farm. Franklin started buying land in the area and inherited the family farm when Elizabeth died. In 1886, Franklin married Mary Armin Morrow, who had traveled to Kansas in 1879. Franklin died at Hiawatha, Kansas on June 6, 1940 at the age of 90. The original homestead was later sold in 1966 after having been in the Hawks family for 109 years. Franklin's eldest son, Robert Hawks, was born in 1894 on his family's farm outside of Hiawatha, where he grew up and would travel to Carson for school. As a boy, he traveled to Sheridan, Wyoming by train to visit his uncle Jasper, who was the sheriff of the area. Robert married Florence Moser in 1919 and later bought his family's farm, where they raised his family of Robert Jr., Dean, and Dorothy. Robert Jr. has had a very interesting life as a pilot and photographer and now lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dean still lives in Kansas on a farm with his wife Helen Ruth. Dorothy met Richard Page, who she married in 1945. They moved to Syracuse, New York in 1946 and eventually to Lynchburg, Virginia. And that is the history of the Hawks family leading up to Kansas.